Welcome to another episode of Talking Taste. We got the gang with us. We got the gang is really me and TJ. But today we got
Charlie B.
Manny, the guy that's usually behind the camera.
Okay. What we talking about today, Manny?
We got a good amount of topics. I would say first on the list, with the NBA season going ahead and ending, what would y'all say, like, y'all opinions on like the finals of how it played out?
Finals of how it played out.
Yeah.
I was actually when the playoffs started, I was rooting for Ant Ellis on the championship. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be face of the league. But after he got knocked out, I'm gonna shave it, so it went how I wanted to do.
So now, like with the finals, a lot of controversy was kind of spilled out about Shea and the whole foul baiting and everything like that. Do you think that there was an obnoxious level amount of foul calls that were called on Shea, or do you think it was kind of like what you expected with today's game and how things have played out?
You know.
Man, I mean, that's the game. Game is you have the high basketball IQ, being able to draw fouls. Nobody say nothing when Luka do it, and LeBron does it. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what they do. They draw fouls. But shit, if you smart enough, you get to shoot 10, 12 free throws. I mean, I think that's a smart player.
But do you think it's like bad for the game though when you see a star player like Shea go ahead and not necessarily manipulate the game, but go ahead and play a style of play that does tend to draw a lot more foul calls than the average play?
No, you think he's a smart player.
Okay, I got you.
So in my opinion, I feel like Shea is Shea is kind of what to me, Shea's style is how you want to play. It's just hard to guard because he's he's making you play like honest defense. Like, you can't be overly physical because they gonna call the foul. He can shoot the three. He can play the mid range. He can get all the way to the basket. So he could score it, all three levels. He just a tough cover, man. And I just think that the reason why he draw a lot of fouls is because he just scored all those levels where you got to play him that close. And he got so many counters for defenders. I talk about him to my son all the time. It's like it's tough to be able to average 30 against the best defenders in the world. You know what I'm saying? Man average 30 against the best defender every single night. So to me, that's the contribute to his work ethic. His focus on his skill development. Because I feel like that's what all players should strive to be. Guard like Shea, as far as just all levels and just being a super tough cover. So that's why he's trying to foul. So to me, like TJ said, it's like it's high IQ. Because some people will play the IQ game just to draw fouls, but to me, I just think he's just a tough cover and he just draw fouls.
So like when it comes to like the average like NBA fan that was watching the postseason and going ahead and like complaining about Shea getting all these foul calls, do you think that the fans that were saying these things, do you think necessarily they were doing a little bit too much, or do you think there was a little bit of justification in what they were saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got some good questions, boy.
Hey man,
I mean, just I feel like a fan gonna be a fan, bro. Fan, they always gonna have some issues with some bullshit. Okay? You know what I'm saying? And but you on the outside looking in, they don't know the game like that. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, yeah, a lot of the shit they be saying be bullshit anyway. They looking at it from whole different other lens than from actual player. Grew up, if you playing, you understand, like, okay, yeah, that's a foul. Like, okay, you playing, you read how to rest all the game. They've been look aggressive. Okay, so now I'm a flock it if you want.
Okay.
But like I said, it's never a thing when Luka, Bron, all these little superstars doing it. I feel like Ant doesn't do it enough. If he did it more, yeah, that'll take his game to another level.
So are you saying like for superstars in a sense, if they know there's the potential for them to garner these, calls a little bit more consistently, you say that they should kind of lean into it in a sense?
Why wouldn't I? I want to make the game easy. It ain't about, oh, I'm showing them macho and strong and running through motherfuckers and up get buddies.
Yeah.
Now, if I can get 2 or 3 extra points, or shit, 10 extra points a game, I just shoot free throws. You wouldn't do that?
I would.
Know what I'm saying? Or like just in life, if I can get a couple of extra dollars here by doing it the honest way now, but if I can get a couple of extra dollars that say, you know what, man, I got my business jumping, everybody in my business, let me sell a few more t-shirts. That's extra dollars right there. You wouldn't do that?
Look, I would. If I know I could. That's what you think.
How about?
If you could, if let's say you're in Shay's shoes and you could manipulate the game in a way or take control to where you're getting more foul calls than the average player, would you do that or no?
Yeah, I would do it, but I just think that majority of the league can't do it.
So what you saying is people is mad because even if they had the chance, they probably couldn't do it like some of the superstars in the league.
The casuals don't understand the game, and that's probably who you hear the most. You know what I'm saying? The casuals, if you hear them the loudest, right? The people who know the game know how tough it is to draw fouls anyway. Little Dark don't get no fouls called.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of guys, like the big man, the center, you don't get no fouls called. You don't think you want to go to the line?
I mean, centers typically can't shoot free throws as well.
So you don't think you want to get them freebies?
Yeah, no, of course.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying majority in the league, they can't do it. That's not their thing. They won't be able to do it if they try. It's a special skill set. So I feel like fans need to understand that.
Check this out. Them shit that motherfuckers like, man, all that motherfucker do is just don't hit mid-ranges. I want to see him dunk more. But you're scoring a lot of buckets for getting mid-ranges, but now you listening to the fans saying that, well, he only shooting mid-ranges. Now you trying to go dunk the ball and get fucked up. Well, how dumb would that be, bro?
That's definitely not smart.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to take it together.
No, look, it makes sense what you're saying when you go ahead and when you think about it from like the singular perspective. But, again, a lot of the parts of the NBA, like fan opinion does matter to an extent because the fans, no, just think about it.
You sound like a fan. You sound like.
But you want to know what's difference? I didn't play like y'all did. I'm just watching from the outside looking in, so I'm gonna have the opinion of the outside looking in. I don't know the game like y'all.
All right, so I just told you.
Yeah, you did.
Right? The reason why he could draw fouls is because he's a 3-level scorer. He's a threat at 3-point line. He's a threat at mid-range. He's a threat getting to the basket. So you got to play him close.
Yeah.
And what's the chance of you being able to guard him without fouling, playing him close? You see what I'm saying? It's just common sense. It ain't that complicated. Some people only shoot threes. Some people only get to the basket. Right? So if you only get to the basket, I just play off you.
Okay.
If you know what I'm saying? If you play 3, I just take away the 3. You ain't drawing no fouls. You know what I'm saying? But if you a threat at every level, you going to the line.
Okay. Nah, it makes sense. It makes sense. Now let's look at the opposite side. Let's look at Indiana, a thing that we had mentioned before. Going into Game 7, all of a few minutes into it, Tyrese goes out with the Achilles, and we've seen it continue to kind of be a trend. What is y'all
gonna do, boy? Well, keep going. Keep going.
But what is y'all opinions on like with how injuries have become, especially the Achilles, it's become a little bit more of a trend as of late? Do you think that there's a certain part of the game now that is lacking that leads to these injuries?
I mean, I think the game is much, much faster now. His game is much, much faster. So, it's more plays, obviously. I also think that Back in the day, you either did bench press, squats, lunges, fucking pull ups, and it was just simple. Mm-hmm. Now you got all these different strength and conditioning guys out there. They got kids doing all types of shit, and your body not used to doing that. And you're not really focusing on the main shit. Like, we used to do calf raises growing up. That was our thing. Or wear strength shoes. Motherfuckers want to tear their Achilles back then. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But now I feel like it's just so many different other things that they're doing with strength conditioning. That it's just too much. We just need to get back to the basics.
So you think basically a lot of strength and conditioning coaches, they're straying away from the main point. They're like getting too cute with it, to say.
Yeah. Fuck, I need to jump and turn on 1, 2, 3 legs and do all this bullshit. I don't need to do all that. Mm-hmm. I can just keep it simple.
So then let me ask you this, because you be training with Junior all the time. What about how you're training him as of late do you think is gonna translate that into the court?
All right, hold up. So let me answer the Achilles question. Can I answer that?
Yeah, go.
All right. I had to laugh that you put that, but I see when you take that question. But so for me, when it comes to Achilles, the reason why I think people are getting Achilles injuries because they're not in good enough shape. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because like, you ever heard of like being like too smart for your own good? Mm-hmm. That's what's going on in the league right now. These people are too smart for their own good. You got all this high technology. You got all these different people, these analytical people. But the fact is, guys are not in good enough shape because they try to keep you off your legs. You try to count how much you spend time on your legs, how much running, and all this different thing. But when you tear your Achilles, it's because of like, number one, you not in good enough shape or overuse, right? So one is not in good enough shape or overuse, and if it's overuse, that means you're not taking care of your body, right? You're not getting massages, you're not doing like foam rolling, you're not stretching consistently. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason why players get injuries. And I would say the number one thing because because they try to change the way like like what do you call it, the work the usage the usage of players, like workload. The workload, yeah. They try to lower the workload, and to me, when you lower the workload for players, you making the body's going to break down because, like you said, the game is faster. Mm-hmm. The game, you still got to play 82 games per season. Mm-hmm. You got to play 10 preseason games. Mm-hmm. You got to play, like, if you go to the finals, you got to win 16. You win the championship, you got to win 16 games. So you might be playing another, like that's over 100-some games, but they talking about your workload got to be down. So you're not in good enough shape, right? So if you're in good enough shape, you're going to automatically overwork yourself if you got that kind of schedule. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So to me, that's why players are tearing their Achilles. And another reason why they're tearing their Achilles is because of the shoes. When I was playing in the NBA, I used to wear the heaviest, ugliest shoes, man. I used to wear the LeBron Soldiers. And my teammates used to mess with me about them. But I think like LeBron make the best shoes, right? Because to me, like, think about LeBron injuries. How often have you seen him injure like I don't know, like his knees or something? Like, you don't ever see LeBron with no basic injuries. Yeah. Because to me, it's because his shoes so supportive. So like, me, I'm completely against, like, remember when D Rose had the fucking shoes that were like fucking 0 ounces or something, like, to me, like, another thing about injuries is like wearing shoes that's more supportive, more heavier. Wearing lighter shoes is like, to me, it's counterproductive. It's like you running on the concrete or on the wood barefooted. Like, would you hurt yourself if you could feel everything once you hit the floor?
I mean, nah. Especially after two ACL surgeries, like I kind of have a different perspective now. I'm like,
you ACL
twice.
Damn, boy.
You don't see the scars? I got
what do you now?
But doing what though?
It was playing football. Long story short, I went to go ahead, and the first time it was during practice. I was going to make a tackle. And long story short, I went to make the tackle. My body went one way, but my leg kind of stayed in place a little bit. And the next thing you know, I heard pop. And, then I was on the ground for a little bit. And then 20 minutes later, my knee just like swelled up crazy fast.
Damn.
And it ended my senior year. Like, we were like 3 weeks in to my senior year of football. Ended it right then and there. And just a mental load that it took on me was way more than the physical. So it's kind of like with injury prevention, now having the knowledge that I know, had I known that earlier, I wouldn't have cared so much necessarily how I look rather than the support that I get from the stuff that I wear every day. That's the big thing right there. The second time I tore it, honestly, it was just kind of like luck of the draw. I don't know if the first surgery that I had went that well. Now I'm straight. Now I can do whatever, and I'm good. But rehab also played a big part that I rehabbed a lot better the second time. But with injuries though, we've seen two big guys.
I want to ask. So basically, you want to say strength and conditioning is the big part of the issue?
Yeah, the biggest issue is just players is just not in good enough shape.
Because obviously I didn't hoop, but I'm in the gym like religiously, pretty much as much as the studio and powerlifting and everything. So I kind of, from the outside looking in, I kind of agree too that the NBA players have an insane workload for how strong they're getting and how fast the game's going. But at the same time, tendons don't get the same amount of blood as muscles do, so they heal a lot slower. But they're increasing their demand on the court, so I think that's also the reason why they keep having these tendon injuries.
Yeah.
So,
But it's just like I said, like the whole NBA has changed how they operate. It's more like it's a lot more technical. They think the players need more rest, but that you do need more rest, but you need rest after you are already in incredible shape.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like if like that's why they have training camps too. Like, or like when you was in college, how you have that little preseason time before the season start. Like they work the dog shit out of you so that when the season starts, the season is kind of like easy.
Right.
But if you saying like, we want to keep the workload down, okay. But when the game starts, man, the game is intense like a motherfucker. So if you're in incredible shape, you're going to eventually pull something. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you first start lifting weights. Like when you first start lifting, all your muscles get tight. Versus if you do it like a lifestyle, you go and lift it, you ain't going to feel nothing after the next day.
Facts.
You see what I'm saying?
And that's the thing, like when I'm in the gym, once you get going for years and years, it's like regular.
Right.
You heal way
Right.
easier. You don't have to sore anymore.
Yeah.
The thing is, it doesn't change the speed of what your tendons heal because they get really low blood flow.
Yeah.
So you feel good, you're back out there, you're pushing hard again. It snaps, like you said, it's still not healed.
Right.
Again, so.
But the thing about this, the guys back in the day, bro, they used to wear Chuck Taylors, man. They used to wear Converse. Like they used to wear terrible shoes, right? So what I'm basically saying is like, even that's not as important as just being in incredible shape. Like back in the day, people used to like just, just to train so hard. Like like you ever heard stories of Pat Riley?
Mm-hmm.
How he trained, how he trained his team. Like they was this incredible shape, and you never heard about those like those. You never heard no fucking Achilles being.
No.
Bro, this shit ridiculous, bro.
No.
Like even imagine like, bro.
They have three, 4 people with the same pectoral injury.
Bro, that's terrible, bro.
Yeah.
That means that the new shit y'all doing, no bullshit. The new shit, bro. Y'all gotta go back to incorporating the old shit.
Bruh, you did Olympic lifts,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about. Like back in the day, it was just all that type of shit.
Yeah.
You doing. I remember we was doing squat to press, or what's the shit,
Power clean.
power clean. You know all this shit, brother.
Yeah.
I feel like they not doing that more, and that's why I say like it's all this new age shit that they doing with lifting. Because if they played in chucks back in the day, it can't be too much on the shoes. It's more so on what the fuck these.
They too smart for their own good. Listen to me. too smart for your own good. It's like, think about this. It's like, bro, how you thinking about workload before you get in shape? You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm thinking about resting you before you get in shape. So that means when the games start, you ain't even in shape.
Yeah.
You feeling good though, but your muscles gonna eventually get tight. You tear your Achilles, or you tear your ACL, or like the fucking Magic, you fucking tear like fucking
Your pec.
Bro, that's what, bro. What are y'all doing, bro?
That's bullshit.
Like no bullshit. Like that's crazy. But I'm saying, but the thing about it is, if you ask the team, like they're like, you know, they smarter. They know more information about the athlete, and that's cool. But why everybody's getting hurt? So to me, gotta go back to the drawing board, and to me, you gotta put a balance of the old stuff with the new stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not that bad. Speaking of new stuff, you know, the NBA got a lot of new guys coming into the league.
Yep.
Primarily, you know, one of the more hyped up number one overall picks, Cooper Flag, going to Dallas, and he's gonna be pairing with Kyrie and AD. What kind of waves do you think?
D'Lo.
Oh, and D'Lo, yeah, I forgot D'Lo got signed there too. Do you think though that, especially with the drama that took place after Dallas got rid of Luka, do you think that Cooper Flag coming in there and D'Lo as well, do you think that could potentially make some waves where Dallas is relevant again in a sense?
Definitely gonna be relevant. He got something on the pick. Definitely. Kyrie not coming back for probably another
What's December?
something like
December,
that.
January.
But they're gonna be relevant because they're number one pick. And then plus people think that that the NBA kind of rigged that, you know how they got rid of
Take the
Luka.
system, yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna be relevant for sure.
But now, like when I say relevant, I mean like playoff relevant. Like they're in maybe the conference semifinals, the conference finals, or maybe even further.
I don't know that.
The West is a different beast, so that's why, you know, because I think it was Brian Scalabrine. He was saying that as a 14, 15-year-old, he was seeing Cooper Flag put buckets on basically just anybody that he put in the gym with him. Same thing that Cooper was playing with Team USA before they went off to France.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know it was just scrimmages and everything like that, but at the end of the day, y'all already know when you know a lot of, you know, talented guys get around each other, regardless if it's a scrimmage or a real game, competitiveness is competitiveness, and they're not just gonna let anybody score a bucket on them for no reason. Yeah. So it's just, do you think that Cooper joining the Mags with what they got right now, that could potentially early on lead to deep playoff success?
I ain't gonna say that, but they're gonna have some type of success. You know, I ain't gonna, but you know, the NBA is not like the easy league for you to come in and kill right away as a rookie. But I really like Cooper Flag though. TJ though, I've been liking the first time I saw him, I came back and told him about Cooper Flag.
I think you know the reason why I think you're gonna be cool is because of the intangibles.
That one.
So when you get there, like you said, you play with a bunch of other elite players, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, he might not, you don't have to focus on scoring so much. He gonna get the little 50-50 balls, run the floor, get him a few dunks here and there, get him a few steals. Now the game changes.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to talk about like kind of what I used to tell him about his son. You know, June like for me I got him as one of the best players, like shooting guards in the country, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then like, if you looking at this shit with a blind eye, with an eye that you don't really know the game like that, bruh, if you see him playing with a bunch of kids that's not like super duper elite, and they only have to key in on him, bro, the game looks different.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh shit, man, look at him trying to score with two people, or oh, damn, he might have missed a shot, or he turned it over by not realizing the motherfucker that, like, man, I ain't never seen you shoot, but if I'm trying to get to the basket and you can't really shoot, and your man is helping off on me, I'm gonna get a steal because I'm trying to over the top your man. I'm trying to do certain shit like that. So I feel like that was always a thing, and I'm glad that we're talking about this segment about guys either being elite or playing with other elite players, because for all the scouts out there that don't really know fucking basketball, they don't look at shit right. And you gotta understand the whole entire game to understand that you gotta look at who a kid's playing with before you even say what a kid can or cannot do. You understand that? So it's just, I don't know. I get into arguments with different scouts out there, and I tell them like, bruh, you have no clue what the fuck you looking at. But then again, you being judged off of who you're around.
So then this is a topic that I want to ask y'all. Then I saw Gilbert Arenas talking about this not that long ago, the kind of route that he played with his son and what school he was gonna put him into. Do you think if you're a parent and you see that your son on the court is like that, would you rather put him on a team like a Montverde, 4 or 5 stars everywhere? Or would you rather put him in a school where you know he's the number one option through and through and really like test him?
That's to me. Yeah, you got. Yeah.
I think it's a gift and a curse. My son could play and be the best player, right? But then I can also go put him with the Mount Birds, and that don't mean that the motherfuckers gonna play right. That don't mean that the coach is gonna coach this shit up right. Because how many times you've seen teams with the best players and they don't win shit? You see that a lot, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's hard for me. I mean, I'm getting a blueprint right now. I'm watching Daz. I'm watching my dog Chris and his son, and I'm watching my dog Tuck and his son. So now when Tabo coming up, I'm already knowing like I'm taking pieces out of his book, pieces out of Tuck book, and pieces out of Chris book, and I'm gonna combine that shit with Tabo. And then it's like we'll be like, bro, thank y'all, appreciate y'all. And then it's gonna be days. I already told B this. It's gonna be days where I'm gonna be like, bro, go train fucking Tabo, bro, because I ain't doing this shit. It's gonna be days like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
So then, Bass, when Junior was coming up and everything like that, what was your thought process on the direction that you were gonna kind of help him take with his journey in basketball outside of training?
I just wanted to focus more on him developing as a player, as far as individual work in the gym. Yeah, I just like to focus on that because like I'm playing. I like to play the long game, you know, versus like the short game. Like most people is playing the short game, and it's trendy, and they're doing the trendy things, trendy way of doing things. That ain't how I do things. You know what I'm saying? But like I feel like Gilbert Rennes did a great job with his boy, like as far as like, you know, keeping him on the team that he kept him on and didn't go to like a situation like Mount Bird, which he could have been, but like sometimes when you put your kid into a situation like that, they don't fully develop into who they're gonna be. You know, because like once you get on a team where it's a bunch of good players, like development is out the window. It's like you gotta play to your strengths. Because everybody's elite, so you can't be fucking around out there. You know what I'm saying? With you know doing something you're not as strong in. So I think development is important. So whatever position you know you go in that you're gonna continue to develop, that's what you should do. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. Yeah, no. So speaking on the topic of Junior, you know, we got Junior. He gonna be playing college ball soon, and the landscape of college as a whole, not even just for basketball, but as a whole, has changed a lot over the last few years. Two big things for that: NIL and the transfer portal. You know, what are y'all opinions on those two things at the moment where it stands?
I love the NIL for the kids, bro.
Just for several fuckers when we was in school, where was that at?
Yeah,
God.
yeah. There are a lot of made so much bread out in college. What else? What else is that?
NIL and then the transfer portal.
So I don't like the transfer portal though. Because the transfer portal to me, well, I won't say I don't like it. The transfer portal is okay. But I'm not a big fan of it because like most of the transporters, in my opinion, are quitters.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my opinion. Quitters in the transport portal. You know what I'm saying? Um, you can't handle adversity. As soon as adversity hit, you put your fucking track shoes on and get on out of there. That's my opinion, dog. I'm just keeping it 100. The other part of the transport portal is guys who trying to go, transfer up. But we know fucking well most people ain't transferring up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Most people is not happy where they at, so they going to another school.
Mm-hmm.
So a friend of mine is a coach and he like to do that. He talks about the transfer of whatever. Like, bro, you too trendy, bro. Because like think about it, because high school kids to me, like I would want to give a high school kid a chance over a kid, that's just jumping in the transfer portal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because I just like development, but like we in the era of where college coaches got to win, so yeah, jump in the portal and get a veteran kid. But I'm just not the biggest fan of it. It's okay, but I'm not the biggest fan of the transfer portal. But I'm a big fan of NIL. I want all the kids to get all the bread they can get.
What's your opinion on the transfer portal?
I don't have an opinion on transport, man. Oh.
So like with how the transfer portal is right now, then if y'all were to change anything about the transfer portal, what would y'all do differently?
No, it's cool. I mean, I wouldn't change nothing about it. I think it's cool. I'm just saying, like, to me, I wouldn't just be super excited to go in the transfer portal and get a kid because, like, I'm saying, like, if the kid is not trying to go up, like, you probably just didn't want to deal with the adversity. You know what I'm saying? Like, so imagine, like, a kid that was at fucking a Power 5 school and now he going to, like, a 4 school. Why? You want to get no playing time? You don't want to be a little bit more patient to wait your turn? You feel like you a star, but you ain't one. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's just how I feel. But I don't think necessarily nothing needs to change about it because it's cool.
So I mean, for me personally, I would change things about the transfer portal because to me, when I see a guy go into the portal basically every year and he's a 5th year or a 6th year and he's on 4 or 5 different teams, I just don't necessarily think that's great for the game.
Yeah. Why?
So like you said, development and adversity, I think, are 2 big things. I think nowadays, just the simple fact that when guys are going through the combines and the draft, just the simple fact that certain players get special nods or they're looked at a little bit better when they've been at one school their entire collegiate career. I think that speaks volumes of the impacts of the transfer portal. If I had to change the transfer portal, what I would honestly do, every player gets 1 freebie right away. You want to transfer? By all means, go for it. But then afterwards, you gotta wait. So like how it used to be, you had basically city. I think the only exception to that rule is if you're a graduate transfer. You graduate and then want to transfer. Cool, that's fine. But I think after 1, you have to sit because it don't make sense to me how guys are going ahead and basically jumping ship each year. Like I forget the name of the player, but he started at like South Carolina, and then he went to like NC State, or no, he was like Ohio State or something like that. When he goes there for a year, and then he goes back to South Carolina, and then after 1 year, he goes back to where he just transferred out from, and it's just like, bro, make up your mind. Where are you going to play ball at? At this point, it's just like you telling me, like, if I'm an NBA coach and I see that, bro, you're not like that.
That's what I'm saying. So so that's why, like, I don't mind the transfer portal. It can be there.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, if I was a coach, that's not gonna be my end all be all to go shop around in the transfer portal. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go get me develop a high school kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna recruit. Like I'm not gonna be Like I don't want to just follow all the trends all the time. Like,
Yeah.
we in a world where everybody just want to follow the trends, bro. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, man. It's just like when the whole NBA wanted to play small ball like Golden State. And y'all don't think no Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. So y'all can't do that. But everybody's tried to do it, and you know they didn't succeed at it because you know there's only one Golden State. You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole thing. But to me, like you transfer portal, you compete by weaknesses, but you know you can also gain some stuff in there too. So I'm cool with it. But like I said, it's like I'd rather go get a high school kid and invite him.
That's another thing too with both the transfer portal and NIL that's kind of been bugging me as of late. So I don't pay attention to like basketball, like y'all do. Football is like my primary thing, and especially like this latest year, a lot of quarterbacks have entered the transfer portal purely out of the NIL bag. They'll be at one school, they'll have like a decent year, they get like their few, 100,000, but then they hear chirps from another school. It's like, oh, we'll pay you 4 mil, 5 mil, 6 mil just for 1 year.
We'll need your money.
I understand the point of go getting your money and everything like that, but it gets to a point where it's still too much.
What's too much?
Look, if you're a quarterback, and let's say you were 4 or 5 star coming out of school, and then you play your 1 year and you ball out. Clearly you're worth the hype. You were that dude in high school, you walked into college and you were that dude. And then there's guys who they get an opportunity, they have a decent year, and like you were mentioning earlier, guys are always trying to win. So college coaches see a prospect that's decent, and they think that they can get good play out of them. So then their tongues, oh, we'll get you a bag, this, that, and third. Like, for example, Carson Bay played, at Georgia. For Georgia standards, decent year. Transfers to Miami. Apparently, he got like $4 or $5 million rap. Me personally, he not working on 4 or 5 million. Like that's
You
it.
definitely worth it.
He's worth it
Just
to
ain't worth it
Miami.
to you.
Yeah, he's
Definitely
worth
worth
it.
it.
He's worth it to Miami, but
Yeah.
he ain't worth it to me because it's just like I saw Spencer Bennett right beforehand lead Georgia to back-to-back national championships. And Georgia, they not a revamp type of team. They reload. They're not rebuilding nothing because it's Georgia.
And
Right.
let me tell you a secret. You living in a world full of motherfuckers that are opportunists. Gotta say that again, they're opportunists. So I've seen motherfuckers that we done been loyal to people. We done been super loyal to people. And then they leave us because we ain't got the cover of the Kyries. Right? I know it's bullshit. Them. So look, these kids that are raised up, everybody that's growing up, it ain't no fucking loyalty. Look at what they just did to Kyrie. No, not Kyrie. Sorry, Dame Lillard.
Oh yeah,
We can speak on loyalty, like, all right, I'm loyal, I'm staying loyal to this team. But the man tears Achilles doing everything that they gotta do for the team. They waving, bro. So how you gonna tell a kid like, how you gonna tell a kid, bro, don't stay over there, bro. You gotta be loyal. Don't leave.
See, it's just like for me, I think that when they do stuff like that, they're not fully self-aware of themselves, and they could potentially set themselves up for failure. Because
That's the great word. But I was just telling you, right now, right? If a motherfucker come to you right now, Manny Fresh, we got 5,000 for you for every show that you're gonna record for us to do for us on Talking Taste. Well, not on Talking Taste, on any other streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
It might be bigger. You're not gonna say shit. You're not gonna engage the conversation and be like, man, damn, 5,000 for every show that you record. They doing 3 a show. 3 a week. You had 15 bands a week, man.
So
No, man.
no, let me
Ain't no goddamn soul, man.
No, let me go ahead and say this. So like Bass had brought up earlier, the long game. I had an individual reach out for a project. It wasn't a podcast. It was something different. I legitimately knew I couldn't deliver. and they offered me, compared to what I normally make, a decent penny, I would just said no because I realized I wasn't gonna put myself in a position to look like a scrub. I knew at that point in time I couldn't deliver the quality that they wanted, and I didn't want that stain on myself. Just for the simple fact that, like, I'm not an extremely well established person. Like I'm not like y'all. When people talk about basketball with y'all too, there's credibility to it. There's a lot of history. Y'all are 10-year plus pros. I'm not there. So why am I gonna go ahead and take a job of somebody who's insanely well established? Well, I'm not. I'm setting myself up for failure.
So you feel like just because like you feel like you're not where you think you should be at, that's why you didn't take it?
Um,
Because listen, if you let's say you feel like, man, I'm a shit, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do with this camera, like ain't nobody fuck with me.
yeah.
Then the offer comes along. Would you take it if you know where you like you where you need to be? You know what I'm saying? Like, would you take it then?
Um,
Because
now
would
I
you
now
you know what
I
I'm
would
saying?
take
You
it.
can be loyal, like motherfuckers can be loyal. Like, check this out. A chick don't really know that she like bad in the but she don't know how good she really look. The motherfucker come by with some bread and you like really taking care of her, you doing everything that you gotta do for her, you like she don't realize like, man, this nigga he doing everything he got to do. He doing just enough for me and I like it.
Mm,
But the motherfucker come with this motherfucking big ass yacht, take you all over the world and tell you he could do this, that for you, right?
mm.
Do you think that she would take that? Or she just not realizing that this nigga's just better?
I mean, most people would probably take the higher.
That's what I'm saying.
Thing. It's just at that time.
So how you gonna make somebody stay in college or stay at a certain school if these UNC say, hey, I got $3 million for you, Manny. Come take this. And you're not gonna say, you know what? I don't think I throw the ball this well. No, man, you going to fucking take them.
Just keep the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I be gone, Manny. So the average person is gone, Manny.
Man,
That's what I'm trying to get you to see, bro.
The loyalty word is tricky. Loyalty is tricky, man.
We always talk about this too.
I always tell you about loyalty.
Yeah.
We always be talking about loyalty.
Yeah.
Like, that's tricky, man.
No, I
This why though, right? Because when you go to training camp in college, right? And they got 2 or 3 quarterbacks.
Mhm.
Is the coach guaranteeing somebody this start job?
No, nobody's really guaranteed.
So what's the loyalty?
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So go get your bread, man. Right? So like, but it's still room for, building with somebody that you started with.
Yeah.
It's room for it.
Mhm.
It's room for, and we could consider that loyalty, but you got to make sure like you ain't loyal to a default, because loyalty is a game. That shit is a game, bro. So you just gotta. It's tricky with the loyalty thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta. I feel like put like this. It's like you got to make sure it's kind of like equally like uh that it kind of equals to everybody's kind of benefit the same type. Yeah, because like it's like one of these things like it's like people always be talking about their worth. Like I know my worth. All right, cool. You know your worth. Well, what's my worth? What's your worth without me?
Mm-hmm.
What's my worth without you? You weighing that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many things that come into play when it comes to loyalty, like, right? So you gotta choose wisely. That's what I would say. You know what I mean? But like I said, like even if you're thinking about the NBA, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's trying to be the best they can be as for a team. So if you got a chance to pick, Kyrie, like just like Luka and Anthony, they traded Luka for Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Is Dallas loyal?
I mean, a lot would go ahead and say no.
You see what I'm saying? So they did what's best for them.
Yeah.
and Luka had to make the Lakers situation the best. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah, no, I see.
it's like, so who's loyal in that situation?
Yeah.
You know, you become a free agent, and it's like one team offer you this amount of money, another team offer you this amount of money. Like who you gonna be loyal to? Because you could look at it like, okay, if you want to pay me more, you value me more. You see what I'm saying? It's all kind of little shit you can kind of look at, and you know what I'm saying. So it's like you just gotta choose wise because sometimes more ain't good for you, because they could pay you more. You know what I'm saying? But you about to lose every night.
Yeah, that's what I brought up earlier.
So
Self-awareness.
So that's why I'm saying like it could be tricky. Like you got to be careful. You got to just choose wisely. You know what I'm saying? And that like it's the same thing with people when they say like people like knowing your worth. Like that shit is very tricky. It's kind of like to me it's like one of the dumbest. Sometimes it could be the dumbest thing you can say. I know my worth. What are you talking about? Okay, cool. You know your worth. But do you really know your worth?
We'll see, like at that time when I had said no to the job, like I kind of knew I was like self-aware of my position at that time.
Yep.
And that's why I had said no.
Good.
It was a respectful no though. Like I told him, like, look, I appreciate it.
You better be able to eat tomorrow though, boy.
No, so it's,
Or it gets tricky.
No.
Think about that. Just think about that. If you can't eat tomorrow and you turn them few dollars down.
That's the thing though. Thinking about the long game and everything like that. You know, I have realized like, do I want to take this one job now, take the bag, do it, and then, you know, fuck myself over where they ain't never gonna hire me again?
Nada.
Or do I just respectfully say no and then hope that maybe down the road things are different because, you know, I'm better at that time. Right, like at this point right now, yeah, I would say yes to the job. Because now things are different.
It just gets tricky. So you guys, you feel me? So just choose wisely. Cause like I believe in loyalty, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, no.
You know, you make sure you weighing the shit right, man.
Not detriment, right?
Huh? You feel me? Yeah, that's all. Cause like at the end of the day, everybody's looking out their self first. But you know, I seen something where somebody said like everybody is selfish. Like everybody's selfish. Everybody's looking out for themselves first. You fuck, well, nobody says, all right? You're looking out for yourself first.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
So think about it. If everybody's looking out for themselves first, what the fuck loyalty got to come into play in that?
I think a lot of that though has playing like human nature, you know, and how shit is nowadays. You know, one of the things that kind of changed my perspective on a lot of like the selfishness and, you know, loyalty is, especially over these last few years, for me, you know, my faith has changed incredibly. I went from somebody who kind of veered away from it because my parents kind of almost like forced it on me, to I found it myself. And through that, I kind of realized a lot of things are kind of like predetermined anyways. Like you always gonna be where God wants you to be. You know, you always gonna meet the people that God wants you to meet. So it's kind of just like going ahead and doing a lot of things. Maybe just kind of go with it because maybe that's the direction that God wants to take you in. You know, so for me, being self-aware and not always saying yes to everything and sometimes saying no is kind of thinking about it. It's just like, maybe I don't want to go ahead and put myself into a situation I'm not ready for yet because, you know, I don't want to rush God's timing for everything.
Nah, that's cool too. Like that, you can look at it like that too. Nah. All that's cool. You just got to just choose wisely. You know what I'm saying? That's at the end of the day, like, and then it's like once you choose, you got. Just feel like it's important to you know, to live with the result and embrace like the situation, whether it's good or bad. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And just keep going. Like, you know, to me that's important.
You know what? Don't expect you from everybody else. You know what that mean? Like, don't expect you from everybody else.
Yeah.
Don't expect what you would do from other people because everybody don't think like you.
You guys.
And that goes to what we talk about being self-aware. Once you be self-aware, bro, life becomes so much more smoother, bro. Like man, I can't expect them to do that. That's what I would do, but I can't expect you to do that. So now I'm just chilling. I'm like, I ain't getting emotional because us as men ain't got time to be emotional anyway. And that's our shit. You can't be emotional as a dude. You cannot be emotional.
Yeah.
Cannot be.
Yeah. Nah, it's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like we can
Make a solid point.
you can like you can think about it, but then it's like, but don't let your emotions start founding your judgment and being like you start doing some old shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just gotta go, man, bro, I'm tripping, bro. Like I know that I fuck with you. I know that I fuck with you. I know that I fuck with you. Like, man, bro, it ain't gonna be no situation that'll happen to maybe be like, damn, bro, like this nigga green. Unless I'm just thinking emotionally. Like if I'm just thinking like a woman, then I'm like, bro, I'm tripping, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? But if I'm thinking right, like, bro, man, bro, next subject, come on, bro, we good.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
So
And you said, not to cut you off,
well, you could.
you know, like God, he gonna push you where you want to be.
Yeah.
So if a motherfucker come offer you that job, 5,000 a show, and you don't take it, that might be God opening up that door in your ass.
And then I shut it. Yeah. I mean, look, you know, in hindsight, is always, you know, able to go ahead and look at it like that. But I made my decision at that time. I made people.
Nah, I'm fucking with you, man. You my nigga.
Nah, I know, bro. I think it's all love. I know it's all love. But to take a quick pivot, you know, I don't know if you know people are watching, but you know, we sitting in a brand new area. There was in this area not that long ago that, you know, we got to go ahead and hear, you know, a brand new album from Bass. You know, something that a lot of motion, a lot of time, and a lot of God's grace was put into. Go ahead and tell us about the album, bro. Like, you know, what was, you know, the process behind it, and what made you even do it in the first place?
The album, I did the album because cause I always did music, and but I didn't necessarily like have maybe the courage to put it out. You know what I'm saying? But when I decided to do the documentary, and I was just thinking like, if I'm gonna do this documentary, maybe I should do a soundtrack that is based off the documentary. Cause when I was doing music at the time, it was during that time. Like I really don't do music much as a, you know, as a retired basketball player. I just did the soundtrack based off of my career and my life. So that's what made me do the soundtrack to it.
You were here for the listening session for Bastards. I was like, what you think of it?
I mean, I thought it was incredible. I mean, obviously, it's being a part of it. I'm honored to be a part of it. That was fun. I appreciate that too. Yeah, and then top and bottom, inspired, good project. And you know, someone who says you don't really lean too much into music, it's impressive.
So like, what was it like working with Bass to go ahead and make this album? Like, was it like a lot of other artists that you may be working with, or was it like a totally different thing because of his style?
I'll be honest, it was kind of like working with a lot of artists. It was pretty smooth sessions. You know, he seemed always well prepared. It was nothing really out of the ordinary. It's pretty run of the mill for standard sessions, really.
So what part of his album did you have to like play with it? Like what did you contribute to the album?
I was producer for Ball title track, Ball Forever, yeah. I think it's 11 or 12 on the album. And then yeah, that's trying to know, yeah.
Just put that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Ball Forever.
So like now going into like making an album and putting yourself in a place where you fully enveloped yourself in the world of music, like how would you say that music potentially played an impact on your basketball career?
Music for me is like, you know how some people go get a therapist? music is like my therapist because it can change my mood from being low to high.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, it can change my if I'm low, I can listen to music and get high with it, just like that. So it's like music is like my therapist.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I was writing music, years ago, I used to always just write music like about my life, what I was going through, good, bad. Today I don't want to write about my life because in my life I feel like it's too personal now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably why I don't write music as much because because years ago it was more about just me,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like it ain't just about me no more. So I don't want y'all to know too much about the people that's what I mean, so close to me. So I don't think that's why I don't really write music as much today. But yeah, music is like my therapist, man. It means music is just as important as man. It's important to me. Like I really get a kick out of music, man. Even just beats, like just like I was explaining to you, like just beats alone. Like I like beats that he was is the word is it evoke or
Evoke emotion. Yeah.
evoke emotion. Like
Immediately, as soon as they
it
come
means
on.
as soon as I hear it, like just like the verse I did tonight where to Scissor Drive, like as soon as I heard that song,
You wanted to
no, I started writing the verse to it. Like as soon as I heard it,
right away.
right away.
Okay.
And that's how I like to do music. Like I like beats that talk to me, and I could just write to it.
Okay.
All right.
So then let me ask you, I'm gonna start with you and then I'm gonna go to you. So let's say open court workouts, they giving you the aux.
Yeah.
What type of music is Brandon Bass listening to when he's training?
Man, that shit can go all over the place. It go old school, new school. It go really up tempo, low tempo, vibe. These go all. I play some fucking alternative shit. Some I go crazy. My music just go all kind of. TJ knows like when I got the odds, that shit go
Everywhere.
They go everywhere.
I got you. So now when Mr. Cerebral gets to open court, what kind of music we listening to?
That's be what type of music I'm gonna have on. There's one artist I'm gonna have on.
I can take a guess at the one artist.
One artist.
Who's that?
Who I'm gonna have on.
If I had to take
One
a
artist,
guess,
bro.
I know already.
I'm gonna probably say Future. If I had to
There
take
you go, goddamn. There you go.
all right.
Nah,
Now,
so y'all know them.
what about you? So let's say you get time to yourself, real good set of speakers. What kind of music you listening to?
Oh, I mean, as a musician, everything. But I'll be honest, like as soon as I jump in the whip, it's usually default to Mozzie. Get
Mozzie?
some Mozzie. Yeah.
Is that from Cali?
He from Sacramento. Yeah.
Yeah, from Mozzie.
That's his production. That's his production style. He could do an album for Miles right now.
Yeah, he got a few records too. So
Yeah.
Okay.
he kind of like you say, like as soon as the records come on, you can feel it.
Yeah, you feel emotion in everyone.
You talking to everyone. So
You listen to Jay Styles?
yeah, bye.
Not too many people know about Jay Styles.
I don't even know Jay Styles. Who is that?
I don't know.
Very cold blooded.
From where?
He from out Cali too.
Jay Styles.
Jay Styles.
TJ, bro, he's tripping.
No, bro, he fire, bro.
He not tripping.
Bro, I'm gonna see
Jay
you.
Styles,
I'm gonna
bro.
see you a song, bro. Be go to you.
Russ, Jay Styles, bro. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that bring up a real good argument because we're talking about Cali artists and stuff right now.
Hold up, before we go too far. Off my album, which one of y'all favorite song? What's y'all favorite song and why?
I think the one that I like, I forget the name of it, but it was with Boozy, Smiling All the Way to the Bank.
He made it. Why?
I think from top to bottom, I like the flow of it. So I love how in the beginning of the song they played, David Stern going ahead and saying, with the 33rd pick in the NBA draft, the New Orleans Hornets select, Brandon Bass, and then we get Boozy going crazy, and then after Boozy it was you, and it was a nice flow to it. You know, I like songs that don't necessarily one thing all the way across. You know, with that one right there, it was, you know, multiple factors to it that kind of enveloped it into a good piece overall. That's why I liked it personally.
Who had a better version, me or Boosie?
Um,
Who had a better version now? Tell the truth now.
well, no,
True now.
this is the thing. Like, you know, if I'm genuinely asked,
Yeah.
I'm always be honest.
Yeah.
Boosie.
I kill Boosie. I kill Boosie. I murder Boosie. No, you know what? Man, that song, that song is like, bro, I swear that shit is like God did that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like it's not a other. No, like I feel like the way the song, the title of the song, like we didn't talk much about how we was gonna do that. We just talk a little bit, but the shit just go with the soundtrack. It goes with the album. It is the, you know, shout out to Max. He structured the he put all the songs in order, and I thought it was perfect. I take the way Boosie, like, you know, Boosie came up with the hook and he wrote his verse, and, you know, I heard it and then I put my verse onto it. I just thought it's a cool record, man. It's a cool record. But if you ask me, I think you tap that ass, man.
So let me ask you this, because like for anyone who knows you, they know Louisiana runs through your veins.
Yep.
What was that like for you to go ahead and get Boosie on the track, but you knowing what Boosie means to Louisiana?
It means everything to me, to be honest. Because when I was young, yeah, I came up listening to Boosie, and when I was a rookie in the NBA, I got on a plane as a young player, and I used to argue with everybody that Boosie was the best rapper in the rap game.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, Chris Paul called me badass receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, I used to talk about Boosie so much because, you know, that was my favorite at the time. Mm-hmm. So getting him on the record, it meant everything, because like I feel like, you know, our story is kind of similar. Like, you know, his with the rapping and mine with basketball. So it was necessary. I'm happy about it.
And like, how did y'all's relationship like even start with one another? Like, how did y'all even get introduced to each other?
I just think that we got introduced to each other by just, you know, him being good at what he do, and me being good at what I do, and we being from the same city. So we just knew of each other, you know what I'm saying? And when we finally met, I don't know the first time we finally met, but we just used to come across each other a lot. But I just think that, you know, just knowing of each other work, I think that's, you know, that's how we know each other or met each other. Just that way. But just the record coming together was like, it's cool, man. We should do a video to it, man. We should do a video to it, cause like, you know what I'm saying? Cause like if you listen to that record, bro, like if you listen to Boosie verse, man, just line for line on it, like, you know, he painted the picture. You could see everything, you know, and you know, when you come into a new job, like you was telling him, like, you know, you get you some new bread, you know, you smiling all the way to the bank, and then, you know, most people doubt you. You know, they say you wouldn't make it. So I just think that it's kind of like a timeless record, because people gonna always be able to say like they gonna get some money, they on their way to the bank. You know, I made it. You feel me? You could 20 years from now, people gonna be able to rap to it. I think it'll be cool that we do a video. We don't have to, but I think it'd be cool.
I mean, you made the song happen, so a video was only inevitable.
We'll see, man.
But now, wait, what about you, T? What was your favorite song on B's album?
I got a mixture of all three of my songs because it reminded me of one of my favorite artists was Future.
Yeah.
So I like. No, it's all three of the songs. So Struggle was beautiful. Like a slow song, love song. And 1111, of course. And then Love You. So if you mix all three of them motherfuckers together, you get Future.
You really in Future hype, huh?
Really, really fine Future. Yeah, I really ain't here.
So we pulled up your Spotify replay or the Apple
Right,
Music
so,
replay.
so much Future. I said
That's
this
good.
good. They just gave me like an all time like an all time playlist.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So like it's new now.
Yeah, so like if you got Apple Music, they do it to where it's like your top like
Replay all
The
time.
music is on.
Yeah.
Bro, so much Future on here.
What about you? What's that?
Hold on. Well, tell me each song you like. Tell me why you like all three. Why you like.
So
Also like
struggle,
Struggles.
struggle is beautiful because if anybody know you, you super private, but you kind of let like some of your yeah, like your life come out in that. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was cool because this motherfucker, I call me like a little hermit crab. Like you don't know nothing about me. But I thought that was super cool how you like, you expressed how like, man, women don't understand how like, bro, we cope with stuff so much differently than they do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that was so dope that you was kind of like trying to explain that. To like, man, shit, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
So that was dope as hell. And just that whole vibe, bro. Like we just listen to it, or the struggle is beautiful. Just the beat, the way everything go together, that shit inspire. Then I just want to love you. Like that's some shit I could listen to with my lady where I'm just sliding.
Yeah.
And then 11:11, you like, man,
Was having fun on that.
I'm just having some fucking fun. You know what I'm saying? And that beat is crazy. It give me kind of like the vibes of old school Fiend a little bit.
That beat, you heard that beat.
That beat, it reminds me of Fiend. Like I used to listen to the song by Fiend. He was like, I wake up early in the morning to grab my sack, fresh on the block and bust my ass. And you know that song? So I had to play it for you.
I really don't know two Fiend songs.
Yeah, but that kind of gave me the old Fiend vibe. So, yeah, man.
What's the hardest Fiend song?
That song that I just told you.
No, it ain't. But I'll let you. I'm gonna let him listen to one.
I don't know that song.
It's the hardest Fiend song. I'm listening. Which one is your favorite?
Even though I did Ball Forever, my two
Ball
favorite.
Forever.
Yeah, even though I did that one, my two favorite are the Boozy record, was because both locked in. They sounded silently good beat.
Yeah.
It's just from top to bottom, it's just fire. The decisions, all that is just fire. Yeah, and then also vibe. That it's crazy and it has that single vibe. And listen to it, you're in a good mood. You party to it. It's a good record too.
Yeah, appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, bro, you got some hits on that.
You got some heat on there, right?
Yeah, I was wondering. You think like Bob is just like that's like a commercial song to where like
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that shit fire too.
Tell me this though, out of ball players that drop music and albums, who have a better album? What other ball player has a better album?
The general populace is always gonna run and say Damian Lillard.
But I'm saying, what album is a better album than mine? You know somebody that got a better album, just a cool project. You be like, you know what? He made a cool project.
A rap. I mean, you said
As a ball player who came out with it and made a cool project. I want. That's what I want to be. We got to make sure we post about this right here. I want to know what ball player have put out a really cool project, a project that's just as good as mine.
I'm telling you,
that's
right now, people gonna run to the comments
and say that.
Do you know Damian Lillard?
No, but because Dame could rap his ass off.
Yeah.
But I'm saying a project.
I don't even know.
Because Dame may be a better rap. He may be a better rapper than me as far as he may be technically better. He may be technically better. But he's not better. And you want me to give you an example what I mean?
Yeah, give me an example.
All right. So you know Jay-Z and Eminem on Renegade?
Yeah.
Oh.
Who has the best verse? Like technically Eminem.
Yeah.
But Jay-Z got the harder lines.
Yeah, I was gonna say, smoked him.
But
he's
technically, the way he flowed on the beat, Eminem is Jay's thing. But if you listen to the lines, Jay-Z lines are hard, and you can relate better to Jay-Z lines. But I actually think Dame is technically nice. He probably he might be the most technically, basketball player turned.
Yeah, you got two, right?
Yeah, but I don't think he.
You said KD?
He don't got enough music.
KD, bro. I look. KD. No.
But Dame was nice. I would give Dame some credit. There's a couple other ball players that's nice too. But I'm just talking about project. Just a whole piece.
Yeah, all projects I can't pick enough and off the top of my head.
We're gonna ask that. We're gonna pose that a question.
Yeah. Nah, that's a good one to post. 'Cause, people, the internet can go ahead and find anything nowadays. But speaking of, this for that, rapper for rapper, like I play, we were talking about Cali rappers earlier. There was a big beef between, Mr. Kendrick Lamar and Drake. And a lot of people got a lot of mixed opinions about that beef. I'm steady packed on my opinion, but my opinion is also my opinion. Might not be the popular one.
Who's the winner?
Oh, it was Drake. 100%.
Drake's winning.
Look,
Yeah, but you light skin, boy.
this dude.
You light skin, bro.
You said Drake.
You said Drake.
Yeah, for sure. Outside of
They already won.
Not Like Us.
Won the battle to him.
There wasn't no battle. It wasn't the motherfucking Drake.
Won the battle?
Outside of Not Like Us, what did Kendrick really do?
With Drake.
I put it like this. I like Drake. Drake. I could go back and listen to Drake record better than going back and listen to Kendrick. Except like Not Like Us, he went over top with that.
Man.
But I got a group chat. Where we always talk about this, and what I've learned through the group chat is Kendrick is on one of the greatest runs ever in his music. But
Hey.
Look, all I know is that when Drake went from Push-Ups to Family Matters,
yeah,
that was 4 beats in a decent 10 minutes. That, in my opinion,
that was hard.
Kendrick got put in the box.
They definitely didn't get.
Body bag.
They got looked over a little too much.
He definitely did. Family Matters
That
got
was
a
crazy. It definitely got looked over a little too hard.
3 beats that transition off of Push-Ups.
Yeah, that's cool.
So technically it was 4.
That's kind of like almost a. Technically, that's fire, but he lost.
No, he didn't.
He didn't lead us slow.
So of the last few years, a lot of Kendrick's, top tier relevance has been because of the boy. Simple. Like, I'm sorry, people can say whatever they want about Kendrick or Drake. The numbers don't lie. All right. At the end of the day, when you want to talk about relevance, when you want to talk about hits, when we want to talk about real influence, the last person to go ahead and really take command of the music industry, like how Drake is doing it, is the guy who used to wear the shiny glove on his hand. Simple.
Yeah, I'll never ever take away from Drake's contribution or his impact or the fact that I still got Drake records up here. But out in the ring, smoked.
No.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
What y'all?
I mean, I like Drake. I like Drake. I like Drake. I listen to more Drake.
Yeah.
In the battle, man. I didn't never want to say this in the battle. I just think you Kendrick edged it, man. You know what I'm saying? But Kendrick edged it. But people trying to say that Kendrick is the bigger and better artist today.
No.
Definitely not.
Now I don't agree with that.
That ain't true.
Yeah.
Anybody with a straight face who would say Kendrick is a better artist than Drake needs to be stuck.
Yeah. So that's my take on the battle.
And this motherfucker come on and it sound like this.
I mean, the club gonna go crazy right here, me. But it's just last time I checked, when Drake has a concert, he don't need to sing a song 6-7 times to go ahead and get the whole crowd lit. He gonna sing one song once, and you lucky if you gonna hear it the second time.
Yeah, for sure.
Drake's career is ridiculous. His music's ridiculous. That
That's the battle.
Right.
You want something cool, something? It's okay.
No, bro. Kendrick had Not Like Us. Can you name another song off the top of your head right now besides Not Like Us? Because there was like 7 that Kendrick put out.
Yeah.
But you can't name anything besides Not Like Us.
Music round, but you don't really. I get what you're saying. But Kendrick won the battle. Technically, he won the battle. What songs you probably like? The songs you like more, you probably like Drake shit more. But he wanted about it, but you light skinned, I get it.
Look, I don't look. Regardless if you want to say I light skin or
Nah,
whatever.
it's definitely because you light skinned.
No, I
But
got a good. I
I
like my shit like Drake. I was saying Drake one.
Listen, I like Drake better
Yeah.
because I like Kendrick too. I just listen to a little bit more Drake.
Yeah.
But this battle, Kendrick won the battle. You know, but Drake is the guy.
See, another reason why I kind of felt a little bit more eggs in Drake's basket for the battle overall is because I felt like with Drake, punches were cold. I feel like if he really had wanted to, and there could have been extra done to put him into a space where it's not arguing. It's not a discussion.
Why the fuck did he do it then?
Honestly, because like thinking
Kendrick
about
was
it,
going far, bro.
I feel like he probably got to a point where he was just like, all right, you know what, like I'm kind of done with this shit.
Yeah,
like
true.
it's pointless at this
Yeah.
point. I said what I had to say,
Yeah.
and if I do anything more, I'm kind of reaching, and I will need to do more than what is necessary. I said my piece. If people want to think that I lost, cool. I still got 100 M sitting in the bank,
That's true.
liquid.
That's true. That's true.
And at the end of the day, bro,
Yeah.
if you want to go bar for bar, you want to go song for song, that's cool. But Kendrick is not going dollar for dollar with Drake. So that's the thing.
You light skinned, man.
No, bro.
Nah, but hey, listen, if you lost the battle, you definitely got to talk like that. Man, you got to go to something else. Nigga, how much money you got? I got more money than you. You got to go there.
I mean, not even just money, but just hits in general. You know,
I got more history.
Kendrick's biggest hit is because of Drake.
Which one?
Not Like Us. That's like statistically his biggest hit of all time.
That's the biggest hit.
I think like
What's swimming pool? Swimming pool one that they get?
I think numbers wise, not Like Us.
That's why as the baby.
Swimming pool is definitely one of his most iconic, but I think numbers wise, I think
The swimming pool got Drake on it?
no.
That's the
Which one got Poetic Justice got Drake on it?
Look, last time I checked, you want to talk about a straight hitter? Drake knew straight hitter.
No, Drake definitely got
Also-
way more hitters, bro.
Yeah.
Way more.
Like you want to talk about like versus battles and stuff like
Right.
that. Kendrick not touching Drake in a versus battle.
That's true.
Not many people could even go on stage with Drake for a versus battle and make it out without being embarrassed. In my opinion,
That's true.
it's like a very finite list of like.
So you basically just saying that Drake call you up right now and say, man, we need you to shoot on every tour and you leave him fucking talking taste.
I'm with it. I'm with it. Nando got told me
So they
to.
fucking loyalty.
Huh?
Yeah, you loyal, bro. God damn.
See, this
It's
is the
different,
thing.
ain't
This is the thing. Communication, all right? If
Yeah.
you just communicating to me and say, hey, Manny, you doing the episode, I need you. If I'm free, I'm here.
But
Okay.
yeah, so then Drake called you.
You out of there.
That's crazy.
Drake all beef.
He ain't loyal. See what I'm saying?
I'm gonna go
He ain't
ahead.
fucking loyal.
I'm gonna go ahead and when the situation arises, I'm gonna just go ahead and I'll make my decision.
Okay.
You know, it all depends. Like the situation changes everything for me because it's just like like look, no. In all seriousness, if the tables are turned and you're in my position, and it's like, hey, can you film this episode with this podcast? Or hey, we going out to SoFi Stadium in LA. I need you to go ahead and shoot some pictures for me. You're gonna be in fit, and then afterwards you're gonna be hanging out with me, and you're gonna meet this person and that person. And you can network with this person and that person, and it becomes to a point where I would be stupid to say no because of networking opportunity and what that could do for my career. That's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? But if it's like a a show in like a smaller type of place and it's not
Man, I'm telling you this, you would make the decision easy for you. I wouldn't ask you to fucking say yo.
Nah, but
Man,
see,
it just
but no, but like this is the thing. It would still be a discussion, just for how much I rock with Joe.
yeah, for sure. But we want to see you grow too. We want to see your shit keep on.
Well,
You
and
know what I'm saying?
and like I hope I really believe you because like since I've met the two of you since coming here, like it's been a lot of love. Like I'll give it to that. Like anytime
TJ is a lovable guy, ain't
TJ will put anybody. If TJ can help out anybody,
he?
like
Try to do that, right?
he will. Like there's
Awesome guy, ain't
100%. But this is the thing. Just because I'm giving, you know, TJ his flowers, doesn't mean I'm not gonna trade away from you.
No, I'm not talking about me right now. We're talking about TJ.
Hey, this ass say, wear the dog now. We started.
TJ, awesome guy, man.
Look, all I know is that, you know, when it comes down to it, from the both of y'all, my phone rings a decent amount from the two of y'all. So it's just like, if regardless if it sounds corny, regardless if people want to say they write this and the third, like I'ma just call it as it is. You know, this is, I guess, a way to just say thank you for being.
Right. There ain't no such thing as dick rap, bro. We fuck with each other. And that's the young nigga, you know, young niggas be on that weird shit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
He plays it right now.
They can say, look, they can say what they want to say. Like, that's fine. You know, I've learned a lot over the years.
He plays it, man.
Man, they want to go and say, listen, they not going ahead. If I read put on a roof over my head, as far as I'm concerned, the opinions that really matter to me is myself and Mrs. Ashley Manuel, soon be Ashley Martinez. Outside of that little circle,
Damn right, man.
Outside of that little circle, it don't necessarily matter, because at the end of the day, I've seen them gonna be in the trenches with me, and I've seen them not gonna be in the trenches.
There you go.
Plain and simple.
Oh, there you go. Hey, I did the NSC on that, bro. Then he just said a whole mouthful. And I hope you young niggas out
What you
here.
got left? You got anything left?
Honestly, no, I don't got nothing left. Just know, once October 11th comes, and change me.
Huh?
Change, man. What's going on?
That's when I get a little silver piece of metal around this
Change man.
Change man.
What kind of man are you now?
Honestly, you know, someone who's still got a lot of puzzle pieces to put together. Yeah. You know, but I think once I take that walk down the aisle and I say my I do, I feel like a lot of pieces get put right then and there, because at that point, that's like one of the telltale signs that all that kid shit that I used to do beforehand is gone. You know, because now I got somebody who I'm telling him with a straight face, I'm dedicating the rest of my life, you know, in this world and the next. Because for me, it all just
world.
That's, you know.
Fuck with you, man.
Man, he's talking to two married dudes over here, brother. Listen, dog. This guy here, bro.
Yeah. Thank y'all for tuning in to Talking Taste. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. And don't be no ghost follower, man. Y'all be watching. Y'all be on footers. But yeah, until next time.